All right. Pachu, have you ever seen this expression before, out of hand?
No, sir.
Okay, that's a
No.
very, very common expression used all the time when you lose control of something or you can't manage something. So something that is
Okay.
out of hand is out of control or impossible to manage. Can you read the example
Yes.
sentence that we have here?
So, yeah. So if you let your experience, sorry, if you let your expenses get out of hand, you will run out of money.
What does that mean? Do you understand the meaning of that sentence?
So, so if I w- if I will expend my money,
Hmm.
then I will get out of hand.
Well, if you buy too many things, maybe things you don't need,
Yes.
then
Yes.
you won't have any more money. So if you lose control of your discipline, like no, I can't buy that. That's too much money. I don't have enough money, right? Then eventually you
Yes.
run out of money. Does that make sense? Or maybe we should use a different
Yes.
example. I think this is a good example.
Yes.
It just means if you don't manage what you buy, if you don't control what you buy, then you'll run out of money.
Yeah.
Does that make sense
Okay.
to you?
It only okay. It only used in case of money or
No,
else other things.
no, wait, here, let's look at a couple of more examples. Okay, let me read
Okay.
another example here. The argument was getting out of hand. So I interrupted to calm things down. What does that mean? The argument was getting out of hand.
So
So I interrupted to calm things down.
so the debate was going very hot, heated debate.
Losing control.
So
Losing
it
control, like
is
maybe almost a fight.
yeah. Yes. So it is better to calm down.
Yeah. So in the first one, we said that if your expenses get out of hand, if you don't control how you spend money, if you don't manage it sensibly, then you'll run out of money. You won't have any money, right? But then we have the argument was getting out of hand.
Yes.
People they're exchanging words, but it looks like they're going to start fighting. So somebody had to interrupt,
Yes.
say, "Huh, calm down." Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
What does it mean if you say the party was getting out of hand?
Means party is out of control.
Yeah, people are going crazy, doing crazy things. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If I say
Yes.
the situation at the concert went out of hand, what does that mean?
Means maybe there is a lot of noise or crowd, so
Mm.
the concert is going out of control.
Yeah, maybe there'll be fights or violence or people would get hurt or something could happen.
Yes, hot.
Does that make sense what that
Yes,
phrase means, out of hand?
yes, it become clear. Yeah.
Okay. Can you read the first three words of the phrase of the example sentence that we have on the screen?
If you let,
Okay, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it, and I want you to tell me which word do you think is the biggest word in those three? If you let, if you let, if you let,
if,
oh,
if
if you, if you let, if you let, if you let.
y- you,
Yeah, let me just say the vowel sounds for a minute. Just listen to the vowel sounds. That's what we're really talking about are the vowel sounds. I u e, I u e,
you,
I u e,
yeah, oo sound.
oo.
Oo is
Okay,
long.
okay. So that's our big word is you. Okay.
You.
How about the next two words? When you say your expenses, how will you say that?
You- If you let
What are the next two words?
is your expenses,
Okay. Now, is it your expenses or your expenses?
your expenses.
I'm going to say it the way I would naturally say it. Well, which word do you think is more important? The word expenses or the word your?
Expenses.
Okay. So, do you think that it's a good idea to pronounce your or your?
Year.
Your.
Year.
So, the first four if you say the first four words, it would be like if you let your, if you let your.
If you light year. If
Mhm.
you light year.
Okay. If you let your ex.
If you light your X.
Now, is it X? Well, what is the big sound in the word expenses?
Yeah. Expenses.
Which sound is big in that word?
Expenses. Pen.
Pen, pen, pen.
Yeah. Pen.
So those sounds in the middle, it becomes like one little sound. Let your X, let your X, let your X, let your X.
Letter X. Letter X.
If you let your expenses,
If you let your expenses
get out of, get out of, get out of,
get,
get out of.
get out of, get
Where,
out of,
where's the big sound there? Get out of,
doubt.
out, out,
Yeah.
out.
Out. Out.
Okay. So see how we're building our big, small rhythm with important words? If you let your expenses get out of, how do you think hand would sound? Would that be a big sound or a little sound in our phrase?
Is big.
Yeah. So how does it sound?
It's a hand. It's a hand.
Hand, hand,
Hand.
out of hand, out of hand, out of hand.
Out of out of hand.
Uh huh. If you let your expenses get out of hand,
If you let expenses get out of hand,
okay. And how will you say the next phrase? If you just said it by yourself, how would you say it?
you will run out of money.
You'll run out of you'll run out of money. Okay. Which words do you think are important in that phrase? You'll run out of money.
Is money.
Okay, money. And in that word money, which is the important sound? Money.
It's money. Money.
Money.
Money.
Money. Which syllable has
Is
the accent?
first money.
Okay. And are there any other important words in that phrase?
Yes, is a run out.
Okay, let's just pick one word, run or out. If you
Out.
you'll run out of money. You could, but I think it would be better for our rhythm if we pick run, because we want the big small, big small rhythm. Okay, so you'll
Yes.
run out
Yes.
of money. You'll run out of money.
Run out of money. Run out of money.
If you let your expenses get out of hand, you'll run out of money.
If you let expenses get out of hand, you will run out of money.
Okay. All right. How many phrases do you think that we could divide this sentence into?
If you let your expenses, so if you let your expenses
Okay.
get out of hand,
Okay.
and you will run out of money. You
Okay.
will run out of money.
So three phrases.
Yes,
All right. And how should these sound? Should these sound friendly and happy or serious? What do you think?
as a serious.
Serious? Okay.
Yes,
So what is the most important word in the first phrase? If you let your expenses, what is the number one word in that sentence?
as expenses,
Okay.
expenses.
So how should it sound if we're going to make this sound like a serious phrase? How will you say it?
So it should be in falling tone.
Okay.
Is a
Well, or
low,
low, not necessarily falling, but at least low. So we'll say
low,
expenses, expenses, expense.
ex, expenses,
Okay.
expenses.
How will you start your phrase?
Is a high tone.
Okay.
Is a,
So how will you say that? If you
if you let your ex, expenses,
okay,
expenses,
try to say expensive a little bit lower. If you let your expenses,
if you let your expenses,
that's good. That sounds really good, actually. If you let your expenses,
if you let your expenses,
oh,
expenses,
but we're going a little bit high. We should, if we want to go low, let's go low. If you let your expenses,
if you let your, if you let your expenses,
what is the next phrase?
okay, so get out, so get out of hand,
Get out of hand. Get out of hand.
get out of hand, get out of hand.
Okay, is this a serious sounding phrase or a friendly sounding phrase, do you think?
Yeah, the serious.
Okay, so how should the word hand sound? That's going to be our most important word, the final word here. How should that sound?
It's hand,
Hand,
should low,
hand, hand,
is a
hand.
low tone, is a
Okay.
hand,
But how
is a
should we start?
hand.
How should we start the phrase?
So the high, the get, uh,
Okay.
get out of hand,
Get out of hand. Get out of hand. Get out of hand.
get out of hand,
If you let
get out of hand,
if you
get
let
out
your
of.
expenses get out of hand,
If you let expenses get out of hand,
okay. Now in the final phrase, what do you think? Is that a serious sounding phrase or a happy sounding phrase?
it is serious.
Serious? What is the most important word
Yes,
in that phrase?
it's a money.
Okay. So how should you say the word money if it's serious?
So it's a money. It's a money.
Okay. Well,
Money.
what you're doing is you're going from low to high. You're saying money, but it should just be money,
Okay, money.
money,
Money
money. But how will you start your phrase?
is a high tone.
Okay. So you'll run out of money.
You will run out of money.
Okay. If you let your expenses get out of hand, you'll run out of money.
If you let your expenses get out of hand, and you will run out of money.
Okay. Let's make a let's make a how I can save money question.
So how can I uh, save my money?
Okay. What is the most important word in that sentence?
As a how? How
Okay.
can I?
So
How?
how will if you put how so it's how
As a how? How?
How will the three words sound together? How can I? How will that sound together?
How can I? How
How can
can
I?
I? Can
How
I?
how can I?
How, how can I? How can
Okay.
I?
And then we have save. That's another big word. How can I save?
How can I save?
How
Save.
how can I
Save.
save money?
How can I save money?
Okay. Uh, let's answer with if you let your expenses get out of hand, you'll run out of money. Maybe you could say maybe the answer.
If you
Go ahead. Go ahead and say it.
if you let your expenses get out of hand, you
Hmm.
will run out of money.
But we could say don't let your expenses get out of hand. That would be a better answer. Don't let your expenses get out of hand.
Don't let ex- don't let your expenses get out of hand.
Okay. All right, let's try another word here. We've got wipe out. Have you ever seen that phrasal verb before? Wipe out.
Wipe out. Uh, wipe. Uh, not not really.
Okay, well that just means
Wipe.
that something gets destroyed or eliminated. I was thinking erased, but ChatGPT says destroyed or eliminated. So I guess ChatGPT says it's stronger than I would think.
Yeah,
But uh,
yeah. Is this same as finished or completely empty? Wipe out.
wipe out means eliminated, gone, gone. What are crops? Do you know? You probably know the word crops.
Yes.
You're in the food industry. What does crop?
Yes. 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 Crop means grain like
Uh,
rice, maize. Yeah,
okay,
these are the
all right.
crops.
So what does that mean if it says the storm wiped out all the crops in the field?
This means that the storm destroyed all crops.
Okay, that's right. There are no more crops, so that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
But
no more crops. Yeah.
how will you say the first? Oh, this is a hard sentence for. Let's see. The storm wiped out all. Okay, how will you say the first four words?
The storm wiped out.
Okay,
Wiped out.
say it again.
The storm wiped out.
What do you think is the big sound?
Storm.
Oh,
Storm.
I was thinking that too. I think it could also be wiped out, but I was thinking storm sounds better. Okay.
Yes.
Actually, I know how we can do this. Okay. So, what if I say the storm wiped out? The storm wiped out.
Storm wiped out.
Is out
Wipe.
also
Yeah.
big?
Storm wiped out.
But I think
Yes.
no, I think that's a bad idea though. I think it's better if we make all big. The storm wiped out all the crops.
The storm wiped out all the crops
Hmm. All right. And then how would you add the two words in the to the phrase?
in the field. In the field.
Okay, is it well, I'm just going to put two words up here, okay? Can you see the two words that I have? Sirkan, we were talking about Ottomans earlier, and Sirkan says, "Oh, I've seen the Ottoman in the Sultan's chambers. The difference between the Sultan's chamber in the Saray and the lifestyles of ordinary citizens was stark. It had a little direct influence on the daily lives of most Turks. OED, hassock, and tussock have the same meaning." Well, I remember we were looking at tussock, and that's like a big patch of grass that kind of looks like a hassock. So I guess that makes sense. Can you see the two words, Pachu?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How do you say number one?
It's a field.
Field. How do you say number two?
Field.
Field.
The
Does
same.
well, no, no, it's not the same. Number two. First of all, think about the duration. Okay, just think about the time. Number one, filled. Number two, field. One is bigger than the other one. Don't you agree?
Yes.
Which one is
Yes.
small
I
and which
agree.
one is big?
The first is a field.
Okay.
Field.
Oh wait. Sorry, there should be two L's there. The first one is filled. Is that big or small, the vowel sound? Is that a long sound in
Is this
duration or short?
is a short. Is a field.
Okay, and how about field? What is the duration of that sound?
Is a long. E.
So,
Field.
so just
Field.
just in duration, just say the words again, but concentrate on the how long is the sound in duration. Say number one,
Is a field.
filled, and number two.
Is a field.
Okay, now there's another difference because number one is a very relaxed sound. Filled. There's nothing happening really in your mouth. Filled. There's just a little air pushing up right around here. Filled. Filled. Well, it's going up here. Filled. There's just a little air pushing up to the top of your mouth. Filled. Say number
Field.
say number
Field.
one and just feel how the air just sort of pushes up at the top of your mouth. Filled.
Field.
Okay,
Field.
but when you say number two, you have to turn your tongue into a snake ready to attack. So field,
Field.
field. You've got to pull your tongue back, and you should feel a lot of tension. And
Field.
field,
Field.
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 Got to push your tongue back more.
Field.
Field,
Field.
and
Field.
you got to smile. Field.
Field.
Yeah, and you
Field.
smile. Watch my lips. You smile, and then you give a kiss. Field, field, field.
Field. Field.
So when you smile, your tongue goes back. Field.
Field.
It's a hard one. It's a hard.
Field.
We have to practice that one.
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to the sentence. The
Yeah.
storm wiped out. Now, how will you say all the crops in the say the crops in the like it's one word?
Uh, the crops in the field.
Hmm.
All the crops in the field.
Okay, just say all the crops and just say the crops in the like it's one word.
The crops in the field.
Mm,
Crops in the field.
forget about field for the moment. Just say all the crops in the or the crops in the crops in the
The crops in the
mhm.
crops in the
All the crops in the field.
all the crops in the field.
Okay,
Field.
field. You've got to make your mouth more tense when you say that. You have to put tension in your mouth. Your
Field.
field. It's like your tongue is.
Field.
You pull your tongue back like it's a snake about to attack. Field.
Field.
That's better.
Field.
Field. You just said it a minute ago. It would take some practice.
Yes.
Okay. The storm wiped out all the crops in the field. Say it again.
The storm wiped out all the crops in the field.
Oh, that was
Field.
that was pretty good. That was better. How many phrases do you think we could divide this sentence into?
So the storms. So the storms wipe out
The storm wiped.
all the crops.
Okay.
Yeah. Storm wiped out all the crops in the field.
Okay. So two phrases.
Yes.
Okay.
All the
Now is this a serious? Do you think this is a serious sounding phrase, or is this a Friendly,
The
nice sounding
serious.
phrase. Serious?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And what is the most important word in that phrase?
The wipe storm
Okay.
is for
So now, how do you start a phrase normally?
as a high tone.
Okay. And how do you, if it's serious, how would you like it to finish? How would you like it to sound at the end?
Is a low tone.
Okay. Now, this is where I think we have to do a falling tone because storm is at the beginning of the phrase, but it's also our most important word, and it's sort of the end of our phrase. So we could say, the storm wiped out. The storm wiped out.
The storm wipe out
Wipe. This
wiped out.
this is doubt. Doubt. Wiped out.
Storm doubt wiped out.
The,
Wiped out.
the
Wiped
storm
out.
wiped out. The
The storm
storm.
wiped out.
Storm. The storm wiped out.
The storm wiped out.
Okay, now in the second phrase, what do you think would be the most important phrase?
It's the all
Yeah, I think
is one
so.
thing.
So again, we have a funny situation where maybe we'll start, because this is the beginning of the phrase, it
Yeah.
should be high, but then when we finish, we want all this. If we want to sound serious, we better keep this pretty low. So we'll say, the storm wiped out all the crops in the field.
The storm wipe out all the crops in the field.
Okay. Uh, how will you make a question like, what happened all crops?
What what happened? Uh, what happened all the crops?
Okay, well, you're missing something. You're missing a preposition.
What did what happened all the crops
When
in
when
the
you
field?
when you use happen, when you use happen, and you want to talk about the object, you have to use to. What happened to?
Okay. So what happened to all the crops in the field?
Okay, and what is the most important word in that question?
The what
Okay, and what are the next three words in your question?
what happened? What happened to? What happened to?
What happened to the? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. You're right. What happened to? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say happened to like one word. What happened to? What happened to?
What hap- What happened to? What happened to?
How about the word all? Is that an important word?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What happened to all?
What happened to all?
What happened to all the crops in the field?
What happened to all the crops in the field?
And what is the answer?
The storm the storm wiped out all the crops in the field.
Wipe out or wiped out?
Is wiped out. The
Wiped out.
storm wiped out
Uh-huh.
all the crops in the field.
The storm wiped out all the crops in the field.
The storm wiped out all the crops in the field.
Okay. Now let's just do one more for today. Have you
Yeah,
ever
okay,
seen
sir.
this expression before? Good riddance. That's a very common expression.
No, no, sir.
Okay.
Good
Do you remember
riddance.
what it means when you say good riddance?
Something like the
Something like what?
puzzle.
No, it's like do you know get rid of? What does get rid of mean?
Get rid of means something remove
Yeah,
or
you remove something you don't want, right?
yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes.
And so you see that word rid in the phrase good riddance.
Yeah, means
It means I'm happy that thing is gone. I hate that thing and I'm so glad it's gone.
okay, okay.
So, what is something that you hate to see?
Yes, there are some people around me,
Okay. Let's
and
say let's say that person's name is John. Okay, and I say, "Pachu, guess
yes,
what? John is gone." What do you say?
yes. So I say God riddance,
Yeah,
good
so
riddance.
that's a way of celebrating that you're happy something is gone forever. Ah, good riddance.
Yeah.
That's what you say when you're happy something is gone.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So do you understand what that it's a very common phrase. Do you understand what that means?
Yes. Sometimes a bad day also comes, so we can say, yeah, this.
Maybe.
Suppose, for example, yesterday, mm, for example, the bad day.
Mhm.
So we can say, yeah, good riddance.
Well,
How
if
can
you're
you say that?
well, if you're complaining, if you said, "Oh, today was so horrible. I hated today. I'm so glad that, and you're complaining and complaining, maybe your friend will say, "Well, Pachu, the day is finished."
Mm,
And then you can say, "Good riddance." So somebody has to
okay.
remind you,
Yes.
"It's gone. It's finished. You don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it anymore." And then that's when you can say, "Yeah, good riddance. I'm happy that it's finished." You could.
Yes.
I don't know if you would talk about a day like that, but you could in that context. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you read
Okay.
the example sentence that we have? What does it say?
So when he finally moved out, everyone said, "Good riddance."
Okay, so what does that mean? When he finally moved out, everyone said, "Good riddance." What is the idea in that sentence?
So the person um, should be dictator type. So everyone enjoyed after he went out
Every,
from that place.
so maybe this was a bad person, right? So
Yes.
everybody was happy when he left. Okay. Oh, now in that first phrase when he finally moved out, what do you think is the most important word in that phrase?
It's finally.
It is. It is. And how so if we didn't make any other word important in that phrase, how should you say it?
So finally.
Okay, but try to say all five words together. How would it sound? If we didn't make any other word important in that phrase, how would it sound?
So when he finally
Yeah.
moved out,
So it's like when he is one word and moved out is one word. When he finally moved out,
when he finally moved out,
all right, now in the next two words, everyone said, what do you think is the most important word?
it's everyone.
Okay, and where's the emphasis? Where's the focus on that word? Where's the accent? Everyone.
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 Every. ev-
Everyone.
Every.
Okay. Every.
Eh, ev,
Everyone.
ev, ev,
All right. So,
everyone.
so now
Yes.
we're finding our rhythm. Okay, we've got when he finally moved. Oh wait, let me finally. We should do it we should do it by syllables and not by word. Okay. When he finally moved out,
Okay.
everyone said,
When he finally moved out, everyone said,
okay. Now, in that final part, good riddance, what is the most important word?
is good.
That's right. Okay. So if it's important, how should it sound? Just good?
Is a high tone.
No, we're not doing tones yet. We're not doing music. We're just doing rhythm. So Is it long or short?
It's a long. It's a good riddance.
Good riddance, like that.
Yeah.
Try again.
The good riddance.
Yeah. When he finally
Good riddance.
out, everyone said, "Good riddance."
When he finally moved out, everyone said, "Good riddance."
Okay, and that's our rhythm. That's our big, small, big, small, big, small rhythm. When he finally moved out, everyone said, "Good riddance."
When he finally moved out, everyone said, "Good riddance."
Okay. Now, how many phrases do you think we could divide this sentence into?
So we can divide into three, I suppose.
Okay.
When he finally moved out, his
All right.
first phrase.
Okay.
And the second is the everyone said,
Okay. And then good riddance.
and maybe the good riddance
And is this a happy sounding phrase or a serious sounding phrase?
is happy.
So you're happy? Okay. So,
Mm,
so how should what is the most important word in our first phrase? When he finally moved out.
It's uh, moved, moved out. Finally is okay. First,
So finally is our important word in this phrase, right?
yes.
Okay. So how should it sound? Should it sound finally or finally? Which one?
Yeah, is finally is a
Fi-
rising tone.
Yeah. So you're happy because you're happy. You use a higher tone. All right. And how does the
Higher tone
sentence start? Does it start high or low?
is a high.
So when he finally,
When he finally
okay, but we have to finish. We do have to finish our phrase in a low way because we want to go from high to low. So when he finally moved out, or maybe we'll actually moved out. Actually, maybe we'll make this a little red too, just to make it sound nicer. When he
okay.
finally moved out,
When he finally moved out,
okay.
yes.
Now,
Okay. And
how about the next phrase? Is that a happy phrase or a serious phrase?
it's a happy.
Okay. All right. So, how should it start? High or low?
It's a
Okay.
higher tone.
Higher tone. Okay. Now, so maybe we'll try to keep that high tone until we get to the end of the
And
phrase because we do want to finish the phrase low because that's just how English works most of the time. So, but we'll try to keep everything high until then. When he finally moved out, everyone said,
when he finally moved out, everyone everyone said
okay, and then how about the last phrase? Is that a happy sounding phrase or a serious sounding phrase?
it's happy.
Okay. So how do you think it would sound? You want to definitely be low by the time you get over here, but how would the rest of the
Yeah. So the beginning sound will be higher tone.
okay?
It's a good
Good riddance.
riddance.
Good riddance.
Good good riddance.
When he finally
Good
moved
riddance.
out, everyone said, "Good riddance."
When he finally moved out, everyone said good riddance.
Okay. Uh, let's see. What would you say? How would you make a what everyone say when he moved out question? How will you make a question? What everyone say when he moved out? How will you say that?
So what did everyone say
Mhm.
when he finally moved out?
Okay. What is your most important word in that question?
What
Okay.
is what?
Uh, so how will you say what and did together?
What did? What did? What did?
What did?
What did?
What did? What did?
What did?
What about the
What
word
did?
everyone? Is the word everyone important?
Yes,
Okay.
everyone.
So how do you say the word everyone if it's an important word?
Is everyone? Everyone.
What did everyone?
What did everyone?
What about the word say? Is that important really?
Um, yes, but here we can. Yes, yeah, important.
What did everyone say? Yeah, I think you're right. So we have, but that
Yeah.
also gives us our big small rhythm. What did everyone say?
What did everyone say?
Hmm. How about when he? Do you think that that should be important?
No.
Okay, so how does it sound if it's not important?
Is Winnie.
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 What did everyone say, Winnie?
What did? What did? What did?
What did everyone say,
What? What did everyone say? Saying.
Winnie? Winnie.
Say Winnie.
What did everyone say, Winnie?
What did everyone say, Winnie?
Now, how about that word finally? Is that an important word?
Yes.
How should it
Finally, yes.
how should it sound?
It's, it's a finally, finally,
Finally, finally, finally.
finally, finally.
Did everyone say
Fin-
when he finally?
what did everyone say when he finally
Again, how about moved out? Moved out. Moved out.
moved out?
Hmm.
Moved out.
What did everyone say when he finally moved out?
What did everyone say when he finally moved
And
out?
what is the answer?
When he finally moved out, everyone said, "Good riddance." Good
Good.
riddance.
Remember, it's not good. It's good riddance. It's a big sound, not a little sound.
It's a good riddance.
Good riddance.
It's a good
Good riddance. Hmm.
good riddance.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think that's where we'll stop for
Okay.
today.
Thank
So
you,
today
sir.
we had out of hand, wiped out, and good riddance.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, thank you everybody who stayed and watched and asked questions. And I hope you join us again when we continue this. And thank you, Pachu, for participating. And I will see you next time. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.